Yes, yes. Welcome to the Jersey Crew Fantasy Football Podcast. We are here. We are back. 14 weeks done and over with. The regular season is over, and we are here at the Jersey Crew 20th anniversary playoffs. Here we are. We are talking playoffs. How's everything going on the Ben's side of things?
It's amazing. I loved
Got chills.
that. I know that sound is so familiar now. That I loved that. Like, we thought it was over, and then you just stuck one in for the end. Because, man, do you deserve it? It is.
Damn.
These things just don't happen again. Like, I think we say this. This has been a storyline throughout, like, all 4 years so far. Has been you dream up these things that are going to go your way, and then it's like, okay, if this person scores that many points and that thing goes, and it happened.
It never happens. It never happens.
And and now I'm so glad, not to pat myself on the back, but that I was like, hey, let's stop and see how many times you've outscored
I like
Joe.
That, man.
Outscored Joe. You've never outscored him by 50 points.
Never.
40, 35.
Correct.
You put up 160 and get him by 56 points, and it happens. Here we go.
Wild Sunday night. Basically, all day Sunday, all of our players played, so we knew what the outcome was going to be by the end of Sunday, and I pulled it off. A couple things just right off the bat. I never scored that much this entire season. That was the highest I scored this season. I look back on that. Then, of course, we'll get into it a little bit with more detail, but the trade, I mean, there's no way he misses playoffs if he keeps Josh Allen on his team, 0%. So I got lucky there that he wanted to trade that, and he did that. What else was I thinking? Just amazing performance by our players. Finally, Zay and Lamar just looked competent, just normal, just standard. 160. And then at the end of everything, Josh Jacobs scores a touchdown in the fourth quarter with like 3 minutes to go. I'm like, oh man, I end up having, let me get the exact amount, but it's like 4 points more than him. 5 points more than him.
Yeah.
And it was a little bit more before the touchdown, but it happens. I mean, I really wasn't giving it a chance. I mean, we're going to go over my schedule because it was so funny how I went up and down all year this year with Jersey Crew. I'm like, there's no way I'm making it. I'm definitely going to make it. Now I'm definitely not going to make it. Now I am going to. It was unbelievable. But since the end of week 3 and week 4, it has been the same exact top 6 until week 14. Oh, the other stat I was thinking of is the 6th spot that I've gotten in week 15, playoffs round 1, is the highest I've been this entire year. I've never been in this 6th spot. And the first time I am is heading into the first round of the playoffs. Just unbelievable. Such a sweat and so much fun. How early did you know that it was going to happen while you were following the league?
So you texted me.
Oh, you were following it prior to that.
I mean, I was following it in general, right? Where I was like, all right, just kind of for fun, who's scoring here? And as Lamar is scoring and Zay is scoring, I'm like, all right, good. Yep, got another one, right? I'm just kind of mentally tallying. And I was like, okay, he got another touchdown. Who was it? Jaylen Warren.
Yep, he scored.
Okay, rips off a huge touchdown. And I was like, okay, but you know what? It's going to hurt too much to follow it too closely, as I'm sure you were feeling the same way. You text me, you go, I need you to win. And I was like, oh my gosh, he's about to do this. And then the Josh Jacobs touchdown doesn't do anything all game, pretty much, right? Like very, very reasonable, like manageable kind of deficit here for you to keep where it is.
Right.
Scores a touchdown, and I couldn't breathe. Like I lost. I was just like, okay, wait. I was on my calculator so many times that
I know, me
too.
Double checking.
I just want to make sure. And then, when all that happened, that was the 4 o'clock slate, right?
Yep.
I was like, if it's going to be this close, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
We got to get it done.
Yeah.
We got to find a way. So
yeah. And there was a point in time that I was more confident in me scoring more than 50 points, but that you might have not won that game.
It was
like it was during the day where it was like, wait a minute, this might not happen. I mean, I know you didn't have your one flex.
My one flex. Yeah.
Technically, it was lower projected than it would have been, but still.
But even still.
Looked like, oh no, like I could do this and score more than 50 and still he wins and then I still don't get in. I don't know. I was still like, were you still nervous? Like waking up in the morning? Like, was I in sixth spot? I was still nervous, even knowing the math and knowing how everything works. Like we knew, but I still was like, am I in there? Like squeeze it. Like,
yeah, because sometimes your eyes play tricks on you, and it's like you know you want to believe so badly that it can happen. And even when I was sending some of my like hype text, I was like, I really hope I'm not wrong right now.
I know.
It would hurt even more.
I mean, it got to a point where you had two fully healthy, most likely for Hampton, but healthy players, and you were down like 5. So like it became like obvious, but I still agree. Like, what if Devonta Smith goes out there and scores like 1, and then Hampton gets re-injured? I'm like, oh,
which could happen.
Unbelievable.
And it was almost like it was this like teasing was happening, because I even said Butker's going to get me the points I need. It's going to be game over tonight.
Yep. And it didn't.
And he doinks the first field goal, a 43-yarder, which would have been 44.3 points. And I was like, all right, let's not do this now. Let's not make it that close. I really wanted to, for your sake, to go into Monday having you already in 6th place, but we had to wait a little bit longer.
It was pretty locked up, and it ended up happening again only by 4.5 points, like right around there. It wasn't even a full 5 points. Overall 163, the highest I scored all year. And to the champ's defense, even after the trade, I mean 106 is a low score for him. He hasn't really been putting up a lot of 100 points, and then maybe more often after the trade, but still, even with the trade, he wasn't that low, and he comes in with a dud, which is exactly what I need. I'm never going to score 50 more points if he has a decent game.
Right.
It needs to be a bad game. It needs to be a low game, and it was just low enough. So unbelievable, just crazy. I was just like, this is nuts. This is nuts.
This is the type of stuff we submit somewhere, and they like play it on ESPN, because it's like how since end of week 3, start of week 4, it has been the same 6 teams every single week except the last one, and you won by that tiny margin. So congratulations. You deserve it. This gives us some of our credibility back too. Like we got a big text from Sarah throughout the year saying like there's some bias here. The team was too good, and it has proven itself. Yeah, exactly. Here we go.
It was too good when it was good, and then it still looked too good when it was underperforming. Like the players themselves, like it just looks so good, and we're just not winning. And finally, it came all together at the last possible moment. But I wanted to before we get into it, I wanted to take you through like kind of a roller coaster of a ride, and look at this schedule that I was on, and how I somehow made the playoffs. But started 0-2, and those were the 2 games that I scored a bunch, 144, 133, and lost. And one of those was the champ, and he scored 133 points. And so that was a straight off the bat 2 losses. Like, what in the world? And then I get a win, and then 4 losses in a row. So this is kind of where I was like, all right, well, it's still possible. I'm only 0-2, and now I'm 1-2. Like, all right, we're fine. 4 straight losses. I made a comment, and I'm sure you remember. I'm like, mathematically, it's impossible. And obviously, that's a shame on me, because I'm a math guy. I'm a numbers guy. And obviously, it wasn't mathematically impossible. I could have reached the playoffs like week 10, 11, and 12. Like, there was a possibility. I kept losing, but there was a possibility. So shame on me for that. But I was like, there is not even a possibility. I was just salty. Then I win 3 in a row. So that really helped. That 8 through 10, win 3 in a row. Lose 1. Win 1, lose 1, and win 1. So just the ultimate run out. And then the last one, I didn't just have to win. Like I could have won. I could have finished where am I? 6-8, 6-8, and still missed the playoffs. The only reason is because Joe put up a dud. He loses, which it wouldn't have mattered if he won. He would be in the playoffs. And I put up the best week of my season for Jersey Crew and win. So just an immense amount of like variability, and it still all came together for a Godfather, the Godfather playoffs, the Godfather. You like that one?
That's so good.
That was good. Now I should just clip that just my voice without the background and just use it for a drop,
Yeah, exactly.
Unbelievable. So fun. You got to win too, which I feel like it's been a long time since we both got to win. I mean, I don't know what the actual stat is, but you got to win too and solidified the bye. So I know we're talking a lot about me, and I'm happy about it. Can't wait to get into our matchups this week. But before we do, how do you feel about Jersey Crew on your side, and then also your other fantasy recap for our regular season?
I'm a very, very blessed fantasy football player this
Good.
year. I
Good for you.
am in 3 playoffs, and I am 3 buys
Nice.
in each
Nice.
of the one, obviously in each. So it just
That's
is.
awesome.
It couldn't be better. It really, really is kind of tainted by our loss in
Yeah.
our quarterback-less league, which would have just been quite a feat. But and you know what, like, it really answers your question from a week or so, or a week or two ago, of which one has more weight, and
Yeah.
it's the losses that just
It does.
I got 3 buys. This is incredible. I don't have to. For the first time ever, I have a free weekend and the season's not over. I have a free Sunday and I'm not out of the playoffs. It's like still so much possibility, but man, does it hurt because of how much we fought in that league, and we kind of figured some things out. We had 5 quarterbacks on our team at one time. Like, we're dropping so much because it's fab for that league. So we have a budget for our waiver. We're dropping so much money. And it was a great year, but I'm going to really try to keep my focus on these buys, these playoffs that are going on, because what I'm playing for, the stakes are very high.
Good.
And very possible. I think
Yeah.
one of those 3 leagues, and it's not Ben's, it's not Jersey Crew, but it's going to be really hard. Jonathan Taylor just carried me so much, and right now
I know
it's not looking good. It's not looking good.
Seahawks round 1, right?
Yeah. Which is
and like a
okay
backup
because,
quarterback.
Yeah. So maybe Phillip Rivers, who's signed to the practice squad, is ready to
I know.
go.
I thought they were going to start someone else, but I forget what it. Yeah, no, they really didn't have anyone, and they just brought him up out of nowhere. Yeah. It's just like it's going to be rough. It's going to be rough. So, but you have a possibility of 3 championships. I mean, you're coming in at top 2 for 3 different leagues.
Yeah. So number 1 and 1, number 2 and 2, and who's to say, like, JT could still have monster weeks, even with all that's going on, and I just need 2 from him. I need 2 weeks of some huge scores from him. So I am so lucky. I'm feeling, better and better as the days go by, and I can't complain, dude. This is incredible.
Incredible. You would have never guessed if I told you, hey, you might miss. You're going to miss one of the 4 in playoffs, but the other 3 are going to all be top 2s, like buys for all. You'd be fine with that.
I mean, oh my gosh, yeah. If I knew this at the beginning of the season, I'd be like, yeah, I'll take that any day. Also, I sold my soul, to the devil to get my championship last year, and so I figured, like, this could be a terrible year, and it's like, who cares?
Right.
I won last year. It's a great year. I have a chance to repeat. I of course already started dreaming about having the 3-peat.
True.
And I was like, I probably
get the 2-peat.
I probably should hold off on that. But let's go. I need no injuries this week. Just nice, healthy. I don't need anybody to have their best week of the season either. So I just need my players to kind of just a nice,
How does it feel being on bye for the entire fantasy leagues? Like, you're not even starting or sitting anybody. Like, how does that feel to you?
It was. That's why I'm so there's this I'm so dissettled. Like, I don't know really what to do with myself, because I'm listening to the podcasts and trying to get the waivers, and I'm like, yeah, I mean, of course I still want to get my waivers. Right. I still want to get my guys for the following week, but it's not going to matter.
Not this week.
I just need a very normal week from everybody. And I you know what? I want to watch, of course, for your matchup, but I also want to watch because I need some stories to go right for certain teams in order for games to mean a little bit more. Not that I don't know if there's many teams right now that are just like, we're done. But I really want very competitive games going forward. So it's not like, we'll just sit Bijan for the 4th quarter because Falcons are really struggling. Like, I want to root against that for sure. So
yeah. I mean, who are you more worried to play, Giants and Cowboys, or myself, the Godfather?
Giants and who? Just kidding. Sorry. It's you, dude. I'm just kidding. Because watch, Matt's gonna come out and have game of the lifetime. Yeah. But it's you. You look. I was the 8th seed. First of all, we didn't even mention that you are the 6th seed in a year where there is less
True,
playoff teams making
true.
it in, and you
Yeah,
happen
good
to
point.
even make that. Like,
Oh man,
so
wild.
you're hot right now, and I don't want to cross that. I really would rather play somebody else who's been kind of up here with me. Not
Chilling,
somebody
you know?
who's yeah. I'm very, very scared, as you know, all of us should be.
I mean, the top fives, feel like royalty this year. I mean, you've just been the
Right.
top five for the entire year. It's just like,
Right.
yeah, we're the top five. But
Yeah.
that sixth spot, I mean, I said both. I will be honest, and I said, I'm never making playoffs, and then I ended up doing it. And during that streak of wins, I did say, oh, I'm going to make playoffs. I'm going to make semis. You're in 3 out of the 4 leagues in semis already. Heading into round 1, you're already into the final 4 in 3 different leagues. So you really have to think about, all right, I got 3 games next week, and I want to win all 3 to make the championship. You just have to win 1 game to make the championship. So what is your feel going into semis for your leagues in general? How many do you think you can get to that championship game?
So the likely winner of my camp league of my next week matchup is pretty dominant. He's played really well all season, so I'm a little worried about that. But my team is stacked with just tons of running backs in that one, so I feel good about that. I told you I feel pretty nervous about if you get past Matt.
Sure.
And in my my Jersey Boys League, I won 74-68 last week.
Okay.
So, and the scoring isn't like that different. It's half PPR, and I think it's 4 points for 5 points for QB touchdown. So it's like a little bit different, but think about that.
Yeah, that is low. That is low.
So I'm not nearly as worried. Now, of course, that's gonna be the one where I go and lose in the semis.
Yeah,
but
right.
I feel good about those. I don't want to forget about those leagues because they're still very valuable to me. But everything is on this league here, and getting
the Jersey Crew
20th anniversary, and a year where you somehow found your way into the playoffs, and a year where Sean's been so dominant. and Matt's been hanging toward the top the whole year, and JR and Shane are fighting, like all these great people up here. Dude, I want to pull this off so badly.
This is big, and that's true. Now that Joe would have been the same, so he wouldn't have been any different. We're both day ones. But you're right. I continue my streak. Do you remember when we went off playoff appearances and the streaks? Me and Sean were tied, so we continue our streak. This is our 5th straight year for both Uncle Buck and The Godfather. Some of those years were 8 teams. This year, 6. So unbelievable storylines, but great for you. 3 buys, 3 semis. Looking at what you can do. The Jersey Crew being the highest priority. Winner take all. So again, the championship game is important, but only if you win it. I mean, it's nothing if you lose it. So it's still another 2 solid games. Like you can't just, I made it to the championship, I won half my money back, or I won double. But it's not going to be like that in this league. So want to update you guys on my other leagues too. So out of the 7 leagues that I'm in, 5 made it to playoffs, including the Jersey Crew. So thank goodness, because that would have been rough at 4. So I'm okay with 5. 5 is okay. I got 1 bye, which is in 2nd place. I got a 3rd, 4th, 6th, or 5th. So 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th, and 2nd. So I have 5 in there. I got 1 bye, and then right in the line 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which is funny. So I'm all over the place. It is going to be interesting. So contrary to what you're experiencing, I will have 4 first round games and got to really win 3 or 4 of those. I have 1 that's already in the semis, and of course, all of that boils down to really the Jersey Crew and figuring out, can I pull it off against the Giants and Cowboys, who loses to the softest ending schedule known to mankind. Can I pull it off? I think so. Maybe I'll make a bold prediction. I'm just saying, maybe towards the end of the episode. But possibly. The other ones I'm feeling good about. Best Ball finished up, so they have the same kind of schedule as redraft leagues through the first 14 weeks, and then that's the end of the regular season. I have 17 teams that have made the playoffs. So out of 117, so it ended up being right around 17%, which is just about average. So I was above average during the year, tailed off a little bit towards the end, but I have 17 teams going into week 1. Hopefully get a couple to make it into week 2, and then hopefully make it into the final. So I'll keep everyone updated on that, but pretty good. Happy about that. Pick 5 and went 3-2, still in first place with 4 weeks to go. We got 15, 16, 17, and 18 for those pools.
Okay.
So still in first place, up one correct pick. I got the pick 6, which I got a little bit closer. I was 4-2. I'm only 3 picks away from number one.
Okay.
And out of 62 of us, I'm in 4th. Tied with Matt. Matt has the same amount of correct picks, and we're only 3 back from the first place. And then finally, last but not least, I have an update on Survivor. So I was eliminated with the one high roller last week. There was 4 left. And then I went with, I had a double pick one. So one of my entries this week was a double pick. I went with Baker Mayfield and the Bucks and Browns. They both lost. So that one, unfortunately, I was eliminated in. But the good news is because Bucks and because Browns lost, everybody had those 2 teams. The other league, the other pool that I'm in that had 17 left, I went with Denver. I saved Denver. Denver won because of the other losses in the other upsets, and especially Browns and Bucks. It went down to 4 individuals from an original 420 entries, $11,000 on top. And right away that happened. I won. The others survived. So we had 4 left. I sent a message to Chop, $2,600 a person. And then we play out for the last remaining $1,000.
Oh,
So that was like yesterday. I was like, let's just chop 2,600. Let's play out the last 1,000. And as of like 2 hours ago, they all accepted, and I'm $2,600 richer, and we are still playing for 1,000. So that was fun. That was fun.
You suggested that?
Oh yeah, I was ready. I had that in my mind 3 weeks ago. I was like, so my strategy was like, I don't want to get that hard guy that's like, no, I want to play it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was like, and I'm a gambler too. I'm like, I want to play it out too, but I want to chop 2,600. Let's take our $25 entry, one entry in that Survivor pool. One entry turned it into 2,600 with the potential of $1,000 more.
Of 3,600, right?
Woo.
Wow. What a great idea. Like, you can't lose. Because now you're playing with free money, like, right? Like you're just gonna, oh my gosh. So what happens? Like, are there teams remaining that you haven't picked yet, and you have to pick them?
Yeah, and it's actually not that bad, and it really wasn't. I mean, I mean, if someone really said, you know what, no, I don't want to chop, I would have been okay. You know, like I'll just keep going. But I thought that would be smart and still be, have something up for grabs. So we're gonna do that.
Wow.
Did win that, so obviously turn that Survivor and that pool into a huge profit there.
Yeah.
I'm already profiting in the pick 5. Hopefully win a pot before the end of the year. Hopefully win the season long. I'm already profiting in DFS. Hopefully win the season long, and then potentially still win the season long for the pick 6 too. On top of profiting if I win a couple championships in my fantasy league. So just like a huge successful year for fantasy football.
Yeah. And you know what's cool? Like, we keep talking about the 20th anniversary for Jersey Crew, but if we think about this is our 20th anniversary of playing fantasy sports.
Ooh, I like that.
And like adding that, like compiling those and just saying, as a 20th anniversary fantasy player, this year couldn't be better. Like,
not really.
Couldn't be like, I wanted one more. No, it's like, this is, and as badly as we wanted that co-managed team to just make it to the playoffs, even if we lost round 1, like, it still is like, no, we couldn't imagine anything better. Congratulations. That is
thank you. My first dollar I've won from Survivor. So I've played, I've done pools for like maybe 4 years, 5 years, something like that. The first ones that we started to do, and then I did more after that. Never won any pot. Got very close, especially last year. This was the first dollar that I won, and it was 2,600, 4-way split with the potential of 1,000 more. So I'll keep everyone updated on that. That was fun. That was fun. All right, so let's get into Jersey Crew. We have it up here now. Before we go into the playoffs, I do want to give a shout out to our members of the 20th anniversary season that did not make the playoffs. We have Brady Gaga that finished number 1 in the toilet bowl. We have Groovy Q, number 11, Coyotes, number 10. Ladies Love G-Man. I mean, she was in there the entire time. So was Groovy Q. And Pack Attack, number 8. He was in there the whole time. He was dropping and picking up players that last week. We really appreciate that. And then, of course, the 6th spot holder for at least 7, 8, 9 different weeks during the season, unfortunately loses at the last second to drop out of the playoffs, which was DeChamps here. So congratulations to those 6 that did not make the playoffs.
Absolutely. Yeah, you got to give him credit here. A special shout out goes to Saz and Q, just kind of like no matter what, fighting. I mean, Sarah was still going last week, even when she pretty much knew she was out, and it's like, hey, let's get this. Like, let me get a win here. Just so awesome to see. And just a nice shout out to Pack Attack.
I know
he could have stayed at 12 the whole season. He could have tanked for Tua. He
won 3 straight. I'm just looking at it now,
and not just like easy wins. Like he played really well toward the end there. Cool to see. Now he won't get the number 1 pick. He's gonna get the number 5 pick, which is true. Like significantly different. However, I just love that. This is why Jersey Crew's the best. You got a guy who is 12th and 8th now.
And it wasn't close because of the points, but in reality, he had the same record as the 6th spot.
Look at that.
Yeah.
He got 6 wins. It helps his overall.
That's all I got, and I scored a bunch of points, and he didn't, and he's the same record. So yeah. Shout out to them. But now it really comes down to that playoff 6, and we have 2 buys, which we haven't had in a while. So Uncle Buck gets a week off, Ben's get a week off, and now we have our 2 games, which will go matchup by matchup. There's only 2 to talk about. And since we've been talking about myself, we'll start with the other game with Gangrene and Jet Up. So these teams have been steady. I wouldn't say they've been great. I wouldn't say they've been terrible.
Right.
They've just been steady. So what's your take looking at a Jet Up projected at 125, a Gangrene, which was something you talked about, having Jonathan Taylor running into Seattle defense for week 1 in the playoffs. What is your take on this matchup for the first round?
Yeah, the reason I feel a little bit okay with all that's going on in Indy is that I get a week to see it play out.
Yeah.
Who are they going to start at quarterback? Like, how do they kind of approach the rest of the season? If they're smart, I would say, like, keep fighting, find a way into the playoffs somehow. Like right now, it's going to be really tough for them, and I think that matters for the team. So I'm glad I don't have to see it play out in my other leagues, or I don't have to see it like fail here. He does. He has to see if it works or if it fails, and he doesn't have Drake London as somebody who can kind of supplement what Jonathan Taylor could do otherwise. Now London for the 3rd or 4th straight game is out. I think that's going to really hurt him. I also think Alvin Kamara just didn't pan out. Obviously he's starting his backup. And then Isaiah Pacheco, same kind of thing where it was like, he had some strong running backs at the start of the season with Taylor and those 2. And I'm starting with the bench, especially because now he's got less options to play with, and it's a little bit of a scary round 1. But so that's how I feel about Gangrene. To kind of throw it back to you or see what you think. Like, does Jet Up then have an advantage based off of what I just said, or is it kind of like a wash? Is it like, well, he's got his own things that he has to worry about?
Yeah, I think these are both very similar teams in that I'm not super concerned about their roster, but that either one of them could go off. I mean, Jet Up is projected almost over 20-point win right now. And things could change with their lineup, but he does have CJ Stroud, who's getting a little bit more into form. He does have Amon-Ra. He has Devon Achane. I don't know. Yeah. Have you heard anything about his injury or coming off of that?
Seems like he's okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Seems like
he does have Jake Ferguson as a tight end. So I don't know. And we talked about it almost like a joke. Like, we're not really worried about either of these teams, but they're both 8-6. They both found wins during the year. Jordan Love plays Denver. I guess that's not a really good spot for him there. Ideal. Probably. Yeah. So, and you got San Francisco and Jennings for Jet Up playing Tennessee and things like that. So, interesting. Yeah. I'm going to say Jet Up wins this. I would project Jet Up wins this. Yeah, I really would. With his lineup here. I don't have a really good lean or reason for why, but I think Jet Up wins this. But how about for you? Yeah. If you were Sean or even your team, honestly, who would you rather face in the second round?
Oh man, this sounds harsh, but it's like Either of them. I would
Yeah,
much
okay.
rather be like you were talking about a few weeks ago. Yeah, does number one actually matter? Like, is it better to be number two? I think it's better to be number one right now.
Yeah, now I'm seeing that.
And again, this is not to say now Godfather is invincible. It's just like, no, you proved that you made it happen and that your team's not messing around. These two, like you said, they've been steady. They are really evenly matched for a playoff round one. I love this matchup. It's just like, I would take these two teams if I had to choose one of them. Gangrene is starting John Mechie III.
Who?
And I don't blame
Who's
him.
passing the ball in that team?
Right, some Cook, I think his name is. He's like the third string quarterback for the Jets. But you know, a Jets fan has to find a way to get a Jets player on his roster. So, no, truly,
it's Saz curse.
Yeah.
She got Darius Slayton in there over.
Always one. I think so. So that's kind of a joke. I had to start some ugly players in other leagues. I get it, but yeah, right. But on a serious side, I think I'd rather Hawkinson. I'd rather Jaden Higgins. I'd rather like those types of pieces because you at least are like, all right, McCarthy threw a touchdown to Hawkinson last week, and he threw a touchdown to like two other tight ends or one other tight end. So he could find his way into the end zone again. They're playing Dallas, who is like the most gift-giving defense in the NFL. That's where I'm going to go. Like, okay, there's a weak spot there that I would rather play Gangrene.
Yeah.
And so if you take Shane, I'll take. No, I gotta take Shane. Amon-Ra is dangerous. Devon Achane is dangerous, and I think those two guys propel him past.
Yeah, I agree. That's going to be an interesting game. We'll see how they do. And then either way, if you win this game, you are up against the dominant force of Uncle Buck in the 2025 season for Jersey Crew. And then the unbelievable podcast listener number one, you know, the guy that's texting us about everything that's going on, the one that might have been given an easier schedule this year, but still ended with 9-5, scored plenty of points during the year. What do we think about Giants and Cowboys? Matt, our dear friend, versus the Godfather, coming in on the 6th spot, projected 137 with Jahmyr Gibbs and Lamar Jackson if he plays well. Ibuka if he regresses to playing better. Travis Etienne just ran all over the other team they just played, and they play the Jets. The other positive is Lamar and the Zay stack plays Cincinnati Bengals this week. So What are we thinking about this matchup going against Giants and Cowboys and his roster this week?
It's funny. Like, Matt is simultaneously his team's biggest hype man, and then in the next breath is like the other team's biggest hype man, because he's like, yeah, he's gonna destroy me. And actually he's been your like true hype man here and there, you know, along the way, because he recognized the great pieces you have. And I think even he himself would admit, like, he does not want to be in this position right now. I also think he would admit that, like, he's got a team that made it here, and it's not a coincidence. It's not like luck that got him here, even if, you know, he made some remarks in previous episodes. Or I wouldn't want to be in his position, but he's got a strong team. He needs Barkley to do what he did last week. He doesn't need 200 yards and 2 touchdowns. He doesn't need 6 catches for 84 yards, whatever. He just needs one big play, 1 touchdown, and a couple of little, you know, 10-yard runs, 8-yard runs, and that's what can hold his team together. The other guys are performing besides, you know, Rome Odunze.
Is he playing this week? Is he healthy?
I don't know. It doesn't really matter for us.
And then what about his quarterback? Would you, in his position, would you start Stafford or would you start Burrow?
I would start Stafford. He's playing Detroit. It's going to be a really high scoring game. And you know, as great as Burrow has been, Stafford's on another level. I would keep going there.
Yeah. This is going to be good, man. This is going to be good. He's projected 129. He's got a bunch of players in there. I'm projected 137. I got a bunch of players in there. Brock Bowers still has yet to really just take off, so maybe he has a big game. Warren got in the mix last week. Worthy's been iffy. I mean, that might even be a potential. Like, do I get Myers in there? He's been consistent. He's playing Jets too, so maybe they start feeding him more. Travion Henderson, does he play? And how does he do? I have a decent bench too, so it's like interesting.
do.
Burden, has been a target since Dunze was out, so we'll see what his health status is. Yeah, very interesting. Obviously, I'm going to take myself, but not a gimme at all. Like I'm joking when I say,
No.
this is an easy one, or I should win. I shouldn't when it comes to records, but when it comes to players and points and what I can put up and what Gibbs has done, I mean, the amount of teams that in my best ball leagues that I made the 17 teams in playoffs, the amount that have Jahmyr Gibbs is amazing. It's just like every team he's on is advancing because of how good he is. So
yeah,
that's a huge piece as well. So let's say, what do you think happens in this game? You don't have to have a bias. I know we talk once a week and that you really like me and a lot and stuff. But you don't have to have a bias. Like, who do you think comes out to end up playing Benz in the second round?
I was hoping you wouldn't ask that. It's so hard because it's like, for the story for the brother, the podcast host, it's like, yeah, you got to win this. But I also think, like, really trying to take a second and really think here. I was going through, as we were chatting, I was like going through QB versus QB, and like I usually do.
Yep.
And yeah, if you get Jahmyr Gibbs to be his normal self, right, and you get Lamar and Zay to do what they did last week, or even a little bit less, but still like what they did last week, thereabouts, and you just get Egbuka back on track. Like, he has been so bad.
I know.
Just back on track. I'm not talking his early season 25-point games. Give me 16 points.
Yeah.
I think you're going to win this. I do think you have a big decision. I don't know if it's the same for Matt. I think he might be pretty locked in with his lineup here. I think you have a big decision for that last flex spot.
I know. I could mess around with that, honestly.
Right. Like Trayvon Henderson in a snow game versus Buffalo, like, that's really intriguing. Now, everybody, don't worry. I'm not giving my advice here. I'll do that offline.
So you don't have start decisions this week, Ben. So you're trying to like take over my start decisions.
Yeah. I need to fuel it somehow. That's where I would say is it's not a worry. It's your asterisk, right? It's your like, okay, I need to check this last flex spot. And then, I mean, ETN for you, it might be the reason you're here. Like, of course, Gibbs right? But
what was that random? Like, he got Tootin got hurt a little bit, maybe, or he's pulled off a little, and then luckily, ETN just went off and played well. He had a long touchdown too. So this is going to be a game, man. This is going to be fun. Day one. Let's see what the logistics look like. So I have a Thursday if I play Egbuka. Sundays, and I have a Monday in Warren if I play him. He's all Sunday and a Thursday. So he is done at the end of Sunday at the 4:00 or 8:20 game.
That's what
so he has Javonte Williams. That got flexed in Sunday night. I don't know if you heard that.
Oh, no. I didn't.
Yeah. That wasn't originally there, but Dallas and Minnesota got flexed. So they're going to have a Sunday night game. He's going to have a Sunday night game, and then I'll have one more player after that, which is Warren. So, okay. Yeah, it'll be interesting, man. This is going to be fun. We'll be texting back and forth. There's a lot riding on here when it comes to winner take all. There's a lot riding on here just in general to continue our fantasy season, and a lot for me because I shouldn't even be in this position. I knew that my team deserved it and that I had a good enough team to be in the top 5, honestly. But it wasn't likely, and it happened. So now is my chance to really look back and say, I am the Benz of 2024. I'm coming in at the last spot, and I'm going to take the crown.
What an honor. That is awesome. I mean, I hope not.
You wouldn't want that. No. All right. So let's fast forward. I did want to talk about this. I win the game, and it's me and you. Like, what are your initial thoughts of going against the podcast host in the semifinals of a winner take all?
I love it and I hate it. Like I say, you seem to have the edge in our competitive endeavors here when we go head to head. So I'm like, no, his team will find a way to beat me, especially because here's the thing. Like, I think we'd have a fantastic matchup. I think if you put Bijan against Gibbs, right? Like you put some of my like wide receivers against yours, and it just could be this great because we are a little bit stronger at running back, both of us.
Yeah.
And then a little bit more like, okay, we'll have a boom here for our wide receiver, but a lot of busts as well.
Right.
But you're going to talk to your guys. I know you're going to get in there and you're going to go, hey, like, we're not playing just happy to be here. We're
Yeah,
not going to
yeah.
play that card of like, hey, we made it in. Like, whatever happens is a success. Like, the second Thursday starts, you're going to be like, if we lose, it's a failure of a season.
Honestly.
Right? It's not just like, oh, good, we made it. So that's what I'm scared for as well. You got some motivated players there on
Oh
your
yeah.
roster.
Oh yeah. Hopefully we have we had a week 6 matchup. You scored 163 on me. So the same score that I just put up, 163 in week 14, you scored on me in
Sure
week
did.
6. I had 105. So we had some buys in there, so I think that's why I was low, but
Injuries.
so yeah, injuries and stuff. So we are here in the playoffs. We got the 2 matchups we talked about, just a lot of hype, a lot of um projections to say, all right, what happens if I win? What happens if Giants or Cowboys win? What do you think Matt's saying? He's sitting back. He has to play round 1. He didn't get to bye. He has to play me, which is, maybe a little bit scarier than a champ. So what do you think he's thinking heading into this playoff or round 1, and what he has to do to come out with a win?
Good question. All of this is a little Shakespearean because there's this family that are fighting for the throne, and it could potentially, there's a very good chance it's either you versus Sean or me versus Sean for the 20th anniversary championship. There's a pretty good chance of either of those.
Yeah.
And that's us. I think true. Matt is going, okay, cool. I know that. And he's this little side character in the tragedy here going, I'm going to ruin it all. I'm going to come in and that's the mindset. I do think, as brutally honest as he is about his guys sometimes, I mean, he's got the best tight end in the league, right?
Yeah.
Like, nobody's better than Trey McBride.
No,
it goes up and down, but he's unbelievable.
But I can match him with Bowers. If the quarterback situation is rough, but
it's rough. But if anybody else is going to do it, that's who would do it. Exactly. It'd be Bowers.
They're
right?
Number 1 and 2 in the league right now in tight end.
Right. Chase Brown, it's the wrong time for your team for Chase Brown to be turning into what we thought he was going to be. Javonte Williams is continuing to be at least that like steady middle piece for him. He's got to figure out his wide receivers, and again, he's got a great quarterback here. I think that's what he's thinking. I think that's what's going through his head right now. He's like, no, I've got good pieces here. If I can get a clunker from one of Vinny's guys, then I'm good to go.
All right. Let's put you on the spot. And what do you think? You're going to project the score for both of these matchups.
Oh boy. Okay.
I'll do the same. So we got Gangrene versus Jet Up. Who wins and what is the score? Or maybe just to be a little bit more general, who wins and what and how much do they win by?
And by how much? Okay. Oh, okay. So I'm gonna stick with Jet Up. I just don't see how Gangrene pulls this off with the question marks here, unless Jordan Love has like 40 points. And I'm gonna say Jet Up takes it by really, really close one, maybe similar to the projections. So I'm gonna say he wins by 6 points.
Okay. All right, 6 points. And then game 2, Giants and Cowboys and The Godfather. Who wins and by how much?
It's The Godfather.
Okay.
It's got to keep going. And I don't know about next week, but it has to keep going. So The Godfather takes it, and if you're gonna take it, you got to really like yank it from him. And so I'm gonna say by let's go by 19.
Okay. All right. You didn't want to commit to the 20.
Too scared for that, but still sizable enough,
Yeah. I'm going to say similar. I'm going to say Jet Up wins that first game. You said 6. That'd be super close. I'm going to say 15. I'm going to say by 15. And then, of course, The Godfather has got to come and do it. I feel bad, but we're going to win. And I'm going to say by 34 points. Let's see what happens.
I love it. You have to.
34.
I think you have to. I think you have to have another like 170 or something like to really kind of take this one.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens there. But we are here, man. 14 weeks. I was telling Ben before we jumped on, it felt like we were just doing the mock draft back in May. It is December 10th. As we're talking today. We're in playoffs for fantasy football. Ben's got 3 buys, so it's so weird. And you're not even like a part of other like pools or anything. So it's like a free week for you, kind of. It's kind of
I
odd.
don't like it. I don't know what to do with myself. I'll be rooting for your matchup.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a free week, but who knows? Let's see what happens.
Yeah, for everyone
Next
else, we are in the playoffs. Good luck in your playoff matchups. Anything else we got going on in week 15? We got, no more buys. I think week 14 was the last week for buys.
God.
So
Oh
yeah,
my
I
goodness.
know that was kind of stink. That stunk how we went out and diabolical dart with the buys. I mean, we're not losing that with Drake May. We lost by like 10 points or something like that. Yeah, we
No
won.
question.
So that's kind of annoying. We literally had to start a 0, knowing it was 0, and we still lost by a reasonable amount.
Yeah.
Where we would have won with any quarterback. So that was kind of annoying. But
Yep.
regardless, we are here and we're ready to go. So good luck out there. And Benz, I mean, you don't have to win next week, but hopefully the Godfather wins and we can come back 1 week later and we talk on this podcast about who's going to win, which is going to be sweet and sour. That one's going to be a little hard.
Oh, it's going to be brutal.
Because one of us is going to win if that's the case, and one of us is going to lose no matter what. But good luck this week, and anything else on your end before we head out?
No, that's it. Just yes, best of luck. Honored to be in the playoffs with these 6 teams. Again, congrats to the other 6 teams. Start winning some consolation bracket stuff, and get ready for the draft. It's never too early.
No, and remember the 20th anniversary. One last reminder as we head into the playoffs, you win a championship ring. You win $2,000, and it only goes to the winner and the champion of our 20th anniversary season. So good luck to the 6 out there, including you, Benz, and I'll see you next week in the playoffs.
I really hope so.